Hello, my name is Matt Mandell, and I'm going to read Ezekiel 1. It's like a UFO. Verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the fourth month, in the fifth day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Shebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. 2. In the fifth day of the month, which was the fifth year of King Jokachin's captivity. 3. The word of God, or the word of the Lord, came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of Chaldeans by the river Chebar, and the hand of God was there upon him. Verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. So it seems like there was a folding onto something, a folding. I'm not sure what that would be related to. Something coming in very fast and causing the atmosphere to heat up. Number 5, also out of the midst thereof came a likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. All right. And does that mean like an alien? Number 6, and everyone had four faces, and everyone had four wings. Four faces and four wings. Wow. Two wings in the front and two wings in the back, maybe. Four faces, one to the side. I guess it doesn't need to turn around. It just goes in the four cardinal directions. Number 7, and their feet were straight, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So maybe they had like a space suit on with footwear covering their feet. Number 8, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their four sides, and they four had their faces and their wings. Number 9, their wings were joined to one to another. They turned not when they went every one straight forward, as in the four cardinal directions, I suppose. Number 10, as for the likeness of their faces, they four had a face of a man, the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They four also had the face of an eagle. Number 11, thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched forward. Two wings of every one were joined one to another, and two covered their bodies. 12, and they went every one straight forward. Whither the Spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. 13, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coal of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. So electricity, some sort of electromagnetic propulsion maybe. And 14, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. They went quick. Number 15, now as I behold the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with their four faces. 16, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, which is kind of like it could be a neon color, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. The wheel in the middle of a wheel, it's some sort of machine, anti-gravity engine or something. Number 17, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. 18, as for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. There was a ring. I guess the wheels of the ring had eyes, which is kind of like an alien eye. They were dreadful maybe because they could telepathically communicate and knew what the observers were thinking of them up there in the air. 19, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. 20, wheresoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. 21, when those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. 22, and the likeness of the firmament upon their heads of the living creatures was as the color of the terrible crystal, stretched forth over their heads above. The firmament is, I guess, that transition to the higher dimensions in the heaven, and that was a terrible crystal. It could see them. A terrible crystal to me is like alien eyes. They can see and communicate telepathically. It's like in the dream where everything is telepathic. 23, and under the firmament were their wings straight, the one towards the other. Every one had two, which covered on the side, and every one had two, which covered on that side their bodies. 24, and when they went, I heard the noise of the wings, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of a host. When they stood, they let down their wings. 25, and there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood and had let down their wings. 26, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, and as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as an appearance of a man above upon it. 27, and I saw as a color of amber as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his lions even upward, and from the appearance of his lines even downward. I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about. I guess there is fire. It's a higher energy light that these observers are writing about, I think, that comes from the heavenly dimensions. 28, as a appearance of the bowl that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of God. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. So this is comparable to a visitation from above. And this is reminiscent of how some alien craft are very bright, like neon colors. And they can evidently communicate and know what the observers on Earth are doing, because they don't want to be taking pictures, and they can do their transversing during the night when nobody can really see them very well. But they still do have the bright colored light on. That must be for their propulsion systems. But maybe they can go black and not be seen. I'm not sure.